Hello everyone, and this is Aadhyatm Verma here. Today I would like to talk about some technicalities of photography and videography. So I would like to tell you that you must know your camera well. Before getting into all that, I must tell you that no matter how much cheap or expensive camera you buy, it's all about the practice and the time you put in. Without practice, these tutorials are nothing. So the most basic thing about the photography is light. Light is all that surrounds you while you are photographing a subject. When we talk about the camera, light can be adjusted through ISO. Now ISO is the element that helps you to monitor and control the amount of light you want to allow into your camera's sensor. ISO helps you to place a correct exposure and control how sensitive your camera is towards light. In a broad daylight, we use low ISO like 80, 100 or 200. In the evening, we can go up to 800 or 1000 or even 1600 and further beyond at night. The higher the light, lower is the ISO. So it's like something you can say it's proportion to it. The next thing, a shutter speed decides the amount of time your camera shutter shall be opened against the light. Again, you see the light plays a lot of role in it. A shutter speed decides how much time light shall enter into your camera. For example, capturing a moving car in a high speed requires a high shutter speed in broad daylight, but capturing it at night might require a bit slower shutter speed with a higher ISO. The more the light, the higher is the shutter speed, and vice versa. The third thing that comes into the triangle of photography is the aperture. Aperture decides the depth of an image. In a layman's language, you can say it is the blur part in a photograph. How much blur do you want? The higher the aperture, the higher is the blur in a photograph. When you change an aperture, you are not only changing the blur part along with the dynamic range of a photograph, but also the depth of field and the amount of light too. Now, these are some three basic things that you must know before getting into photography. These are called triangle of photography. Once you master the light element of the camera, you have automatically mastered these things. Making documentaries, clicking photographs, doing videography will be much easier to you, and you can perform in a way better form. Now, I'm going to talk about something called zoom. That's the thing actually we have been using quite a lot. But do you know that there are two types of zoom? One is optical zoom and another is digital zoom. Optical zoom is the zoom that is done by the hardware, just like the lens of a camera. It means when you zoom to a distant object through your lens, there is no loss in terms of picture quality. It is as same as you have moved closer to that object. But when talking about digital zoom is the zoom that is done by the software of the camera. Although you may be able to zoom to a distant object, the picture quality gets reduced massively. You will be seeing a lot of pixelated parts or grains in your picture. I do not recommend our photographer using a digital zoom as it depreciates the quality of a picture. Also, bonus tip I like to tell you all those who are interested in photography, I would like to suggest to everyone not to over edit your photographs ever. Beginners actually do this by mistake, or maybe you can say intentionally, as it fascinates them, but it's not the good thing that you should keep doing. Keeping a photograph in its natural form is what we expect. It's that that's actually the core when talking about a real photography. So keep in mind that editing plays a lot of role in photography, and keeping it in a very natural form is the main core thing that you must obey. Hello everyone, and this is Aadhyatm Verma here. Today I would like to talk about some technicalities of photography and videography. So I would like to tell you that you must know your camera well. Before getting into all that, I must tell you that no matter how much cheap or expensive camera you buy, it's all about the practice and the time you put in. Without practice, these tutorials are nothing. So the most basic thing about the photography is light. Light is all that surrounds you while you are photographing a subject. When we talk about the camera, light can be adjusted through ISO. Now ISO is the element that helps you to monitor and control the amount of light you want to allow into your camera's sensor. ISO helps you to place a correct exposure and control how sensitive your camera is towards light. In a broad daylight, we use low ISO like 80, 100 or 200. In the evening, we can go up to 800 or 1000 or even 1600 and further beyond at night. The higher the light, lower is the ISO. So it's like something you can say it's proportion to it. The next thing, a shutter speed decides the amount of time your camera shutter shall be opened against the light. Again, you see the light plays a lot of role in it. A shutter speed decides how much time light shall enter into your camera. For example, capturing a moving car in a high speed requires a high shutter speed in broad daylight, but capturing it at night might require a bit slower shutter speed with a higher ISO. The more the light, the higher is the shutter speed, and vice versa.
Yeah, am I audible to you?
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
Friends, well-wishers, our very special audience. Welcome to the premiere edition of DPS Indirapuram Alumni Speak Show. Today, we have with us a very special alumni, Mr. Aadhyatm Verma, who is a freelancer, documentarian, and a photographer with more than 5 years of experience in the field of photography. He has also been featured on various prestigious platforms like National Geographic India. So let's meet the man himself to see what he has to say about his passion and his art.
Yeah. So, am I visible to you? Yeah.
Yes, you are.
All right. So, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
That's good.
So, yeah. After so much of waiting and all the time we passed, so finally we are here.
Right.
So, everyone to the audience, it's my pleasure to have you as an audience and you seeing me live. It's an opportunity that you have given me. So, for us to that point. You can just view this picture, turn your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, just
The portrait. So actually, this is one of my picture was exhibited in Jaipur photo festival, which was held back in December 2019. Yes.
It's such a wonderful picture.
This picture is of Camel Festival.
Mhm.
And talking about this picture, it's actually one of the most precious pictures that I have ever exhibited on internationally. This picture was submitted at a competition with an interaction NGO base. It's a NGO with 183 plus countries
Mhm.
working globally, and it's based in Washington DC, US. So this actually scored second rank, and the theme of the competition was about mother and their uh, children of caring, something like that was the topic. So I gave it.
Wow, it's truly beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, this is one of the exclusive picture that was featured at National Geography India. Incredible India was the theme of the contest, so I submitted on that. This picture is of NTPC. NTPC is National Thermal Power Corporation, one of the government agencies. Many people have been knowing about it. So this was the national level competition, and I was the one who was the award for that. There were only one position, so I got the award for this. And it was a government award that was for me. It was a big recognition because it was national level, and I got it from the government.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much for that. This picture and the other one, there's the two series of it, and
Mhm.
these are the portraits captured in Gangotri. And this picture is special because it's actually the expression of the children over there, how the scarcity of everything and the resources they are lagging with.
Mhm.
This actually shows about the expression and how serious they are towards their academics. They were like studying over there, and I just went shooting them naturally. But one of actually four of the kids came, and they were like excited about click our photos. So I captured them, and DPS Vasundhara, there was Paridarshika competition held. So I just exhibited their photos, and the judge was the chief editor of Indian Express.
Oh,
He actually selected these two pictures as best portrait photographer, and the
yes,
other
they
one
are.
as the runner-up.
Oh, wow. Okay, wow.
This picture, yeah, this picture is bit tough to click, and lighting, because there's so much of lighting, and you actually this is tough because you have to take a lot of precautions, because lighting may struck you because you are in a high-rise building, and lighting can struck you. You have having the battery operated devices like cameras and mobiles.
Mhm.
So this was actually one of the toughest the composition to be made, because we don't have much space to move around. It's on a terrace.
Mhm. Right.
So this I captured it back in 2020 during the pandemic, because there was nowhere to go and shoot. So I just went on the terrace and shot this picture. It's on August 2020. And yeah, this is the picture of Pushkar Camel Festival. It's a silhouette of camels,
Mhm.
as you can see. So it has a pretty. This trip was like this is actually one of the last trip that I did before the pandemic hit. So one of the most memorable, of course, and I look forward this year to, like in October or some year, like November. Uh,
Mhm.
this Pushkar Festival is again going to be here.
Oh,
Holy picture, one of the most printed picture, and this is at the back of my this room wall. So this is actually one of the most amazing, and the holy task is such a hectic task, and most difficult to properly secure my camera, because from the it's from the Nandgaon temple. So over the temple there's a balcony, and they are spilling water, buckets of water being spilled on
oh,
me. And, the photographers, you have to save our camera as well as capture good photographs.
right. Must be hard. Oh,
This is actually the mountain beside Trishul Ghati,
hmm.
and it's again Gangotri. And yeah, this is one of the I have spectacular photos that I have of the Himalayas, but I want to capture more of the Himalayas in near future. So yeah,
It's truly beautiful, and our viewers are loving these pictures.
that's okay. This picture was captured in Harshal Valley. Before Gangotri, there is Harshal Valley, where there's no signal. There, people use satellite phones because there are the whole area is cantonment.
Oh,
Yeah. So this picture is the long exposure. Yeah, and this is of I think this is of towards the way from Mukteshwar. I was coming down, and I just saw this scenic, and it was a abandoned resort over there. So this was the entry of it, and it was sealed. So I just captured it, and it looked amazing because the
it looks amazing. Oh,
This
my
picture is-
favorite for sure.
Thank you so much. It's a lot actually. So this picture is a greenstone competition. Just go back to the previous one.
Hmm.
Yeah, greenstone competition. This was held with the sponsorship of United Nations Environmental Program. And so it was exhibited internationally on the website, and I got a lot of recognition with this.
It's amazing.
Thank you. And this is the picture way away from, I don't know what exact area is because it was a tough name to remember. And this was the a village in Uttarakhand only. And it's actually least known one of the waterfall there. And it was actually spectacular because the waterfall was actually not so much as seen in the picture, but it's a composition of around four pictures stacked up on a picture. So the fall is of another picture, and the mountains. It's not a single frame. It
Oh,
was captured using neutral density filters. So, yeah.
it's hard to differentiate that these are three different photos.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm left speechless after seeing those wonderful pics. Like my mind is blown. Right. So now let's jump on to some questions that I'm so eager to ask. Okay. So my first question to you is, how did you get initiated into photography at school?
At school, actually, I got a lot of support from my current principal ma'am and of course the former principal ma'am. She actually helped me like to look. I was like I told you like a tongue-tied kid sitting back in the class and having no idea what to do in life. And as well as academics were hell of a thing that I struggled with a lot. But yeah, teachers were super supportive. I like it. This is not a thing that is being directed about me, but this is the actual thing. The teachers are literally very supportive for me.
Yeah, they
They
are.
have helped me very much to discover my passion. They encouraged me to participate in everything. Like this was their. I knew about this rule that if you want to find your passion, you need to try out all the things. I tried cricket, badminton, skates, dancing, drama, debate, everything. But the photography was the thing that it was actually a disease that is never getting out of your body once it enters. So yeah, it's a great thing to pursue. Yeah.
Right. I don't know why I can relate to it being an introvert, sitting at the back of the class, not saying anything. I can relate.
That
Then-
was the motivation. So.
Okay, so what made you consider photography from being just a hobby to a career?
Yeah, I always say to everyone that pursue the thing that you love the most. So somewhere in my soul, I knew that this photography is giving me happiness. So, and ultimately, happiness is the goal of the life. So, of course, pursuing the thing that gives you happiness, and of course, you get to visit so many places, meeting people, and so many things. So I believe that photography has something that has changed you a lot over the time, inculcating cultures, inculcating manners from different people, grabbing the things that look good to you. So I love photography, so I pursued it.
Right. Then, as a photographer, you must have come across various experiences. Can you tell us the most exciting part of being a photographer?
Exciting part is that you never know where you have to go. So, for example, you just come to know about this. There's this festival happening in northeast part of India or anywhere in the corner of the world. Because being I actually love to capture festivals. So I just make a plan, and there's the day after tomorrow I'm going there. So visiting places unknowingly and meeting new people. That is one of the most exciting things that I've experienced in photography.
Get to travel the world, basically.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
models come up for your collaborations, and brands are there always support you. So that's one of the most.
Right. So, can you further describe your photography style?
My photography style is it's quite different actually. People are like, some are into street photography, hardcore. So I'm not into, like, I shoot all the things that I enjoy and love the most. I shoot it. There's nothing like I'll only shoot landscape or I only shoot the people's portrait. I like people's portrait. I shoot it. I like festivals a lot. I shoot it because spreading happiness is the ultimate goal of it, probably. And festivals do bring happiness to us, the spirit and all those things.
So true. Okay. What type of camera do you usually shoot with?
I have actually, I love two cameras because this is one of the camera that I shoot with the mostly. So this is a bridge camera fitted with like 25 to 400 mm. You get to capture like with this distance, and you can capture like 8 kilometers of distance. So you can zoom it. So actually there's no hassle of changing lenses and all the stuff. So this is called a bridge camera basically. So I love this camera a lot because at night, because the sensor is small, so at night it struggles with me. So I capture a full frame cameras.
Which camera would you recommend for a beginner?
As a beginner, I would recommend go for phone. Find your passion, what you love to shoot, and if it's photography is a thing you are passionate or you are just fascinated about. So there's a lot of difference between your passion and a fashion.
Right.
Today you see your couple of friends doing photography, so you also purchase a heavy duty camera and you just waste up money, and then after 1 month you realize that there was no use. So wasting money is not a thing to go for. So I suppose that you should first go for a phone because phone is available to everyone. So shoot with phone, and after you feel like it's a thing that you can pursue, go for a camera. There's a lot of cameras in the market.
Right. And nowadays we see many youngsters taking up photography. Many start off with phone photography as it is more convenient. So can you give us some valuable tips on phone photography? Okay, everyone start taking notes.
Yeah. So phone photography, shoot on manual mode because most of the phone cameras have manual mode. So that will really give you an insight about these technical, you see buttons over the camera. So you will get a lot of insight about that. It's not a very complicated thing to understand. And what about it? Like phone photography, that can never replace our DSLR as of now. But yeah, photography has a lot of things over from DSLRs. Like quality of pictures are massively improved by artificial intelligence. But I suggest that do not use those features because that's not a previously that photography is the thing that you capture naturally, and a picture is the thing that is computer generated graphic. So you are, in order to be a photographer, you have to keep the pictures natural.
Right.
So that's one of the things that I suppose that most people should follow.
They should, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have traveled quite a bit to pursue your passion. I'm pretty sure our viewers would love to hear about incidents you came across during your photography journeys.
So, I'd like to start with one of the most controversial thing because actually that's the thing most people are attracted with. So there was this Republic Day rehearsals going on in actually 4 a.m. in the morning. I was at India Gate shooting. So Republic Day whenever that happens before there are rehearsals happening for the army people and the NSS and CC people. So they restrict certain places. I was the first time. It was my first time that I was capturing that thing, Republic Day rehearsals, and the pictures came out fantastically, very well. But what I did was I crossed the fence and went directly into the president's house area. So, and there was nowhere written that you are not supposed to trespass this area or anything like that. And when I was done shooting, all the things happened about an hour after. A CSF person came and just took me to Delhi police, and all those things happened. So,
But I've seen those photos, they were worth the process.
yeah, actually yes. But I highly discourage everyone to not to go over these places and shoot, because it's a risk that you are taking, and that shouldn't be taken by anyone. That's actually a prohibition that you are doing. So yeah.
Then, of course, being a photographer is a tough job. Can you tell us about some obstacles that you faced?
First of all, if you are on a tight project, do not pursue photography. Very hardcore and with this level. Photography is an expensive thing. It's just not about the cameras. You have to put in a lot of effort buying a good tripod, good lights, and good flash, and all those things, and good lenses, of course. So photography, financially, you should be very strong. So pursue photography. And I was not so much financially strong to pursue photography in a full-fledged form. So I'm just managing it and still managing it, and I hope that it will go very well, as the people and the community is super supportive. I must say that. You have to give back to the community as well, because you expect out of them.
Right.
So that's the one of the thing that because the financial obstacle is always there. And the other thing that is you have to be very mobile to yourself. Mobile, I mean, like if you get to know about an incident that is happening right now. For an example, something is echoing. I don't know. Is the laptop or something?
I'll check that.
Yeah. So the obstacle that I was that you have to be mobile to yourself. If you come to know about any incident, you have to just back up and rush to that incident. And also, you should be adventurous. Many people are like, we won't be able to hike up these high mountains or so, but you have to do it. You cannot just put yourself in a car and seatbelt your camera and just drive and drive. You will be and expecting that you will be able to get good pictures. No, that's not the case. You have to go off the way, off the track, and go in that areas where no one could expect you to go, or no human has gone there. In order to take great pictures, you have to go there. So that's one of the obstacles, but you have to be used to it.
Then you've come a long way in 5 years. Started off with still photography and you're doing videography too. I mean, awesome. What are your future plans? Any plans on making a debut in Bollywood or Hollywood?
No, as of now, no, absolutely no, because I don't want to get into the crowd. Since I'm not going to be any actor, so definitely the screen behind is 80% crowd. So I don't want to get into the crowd. No Hollywood, no Bollywood as of now. But the main motto of my pursuing photography as well as making documentaries is to bring out the people who are suffering today. I mean, like it's 2021, you have seen how Afghanistan, how the tragedies are unfolding in those areas, Middle East or some other kind of countries that we talk about. Haiti is there, and of course, Beirut blast when it happened, and today we see the country it's without the government, and how the people are suffering there. I mean, like there's United Nations already, but they are not doing the things. So my main goal is to gather the people through my broadcasting, through my power to display pictures and documentaries, gather those people, help the humanity first, and then think about other development things or other luxurious things. So that's my main motto, to play with the feelings and make those feelings towards the humanity.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, you would agree technology has really revolutionized the world. The photography is one field where we can see its greatest impacts. Do you think excessive technology is robbing of their creativity?
I think today, if we see, if we go back 2 decades, like 2000s or 1990s, we have seen like how many people did photography. I mean, like you would find in a state only few hundreds of people, and today few hundreds of people are doing it in a school, if we say, or college, if we say. So technology has somewhere motivated us to pursue the things towards art or towards different things. So I appreciate that thing, but of course, the everything has a side effect also. Everything comes with some good quality and bad quality. It's upon you what you are trying to do with that technology. I mean, there's YouTube. YouTube is like a platform where you can learn ample of things. But some people go for just watching the memes or just watching the movies over there. Some people go over there to learn actually. If we go for the school instance and we are studying about the topic, or if we go for a college, university, anything, that if you want to do in-depth research, YouTube is the solution for it. I mean, like if you don't need to go to the such a highly qualified places. I'm not saying that degree is not the thing that you should not do. Of course, you should. But if you want to go something into it, you can always go on YouTube and internet. There's a lot of things. So people need to realize that there's a lot of useful information on the internet, but the essential ones you should inculcate in yourself. So talking about the photography as well, if you see this camera, if we go back 20 years back, we used film cameras. Of course, that was the real photography, because at that time there was no Photoshop, no manipulations happened. So it was a photography. And today, if we see, I mean, like if I say to myself as a photographer, I'm doing it ethically wrong because I am using Photoshop. Everyone, it's the demand of the, it's the demand of today. So we need to do it. But talking about a real photography, it's not the genre that we are creating the pictures.
Okay, so now let's move on to my favorite part of this whole interview, the rapid fire round. Okay, so you have to answer these questions in 1 to 2 lines. Okay, so my first question to you is, describe your favorite photo.
Probably the black one.
That was
there's
smart.
one more picture of the this picture. I'll just show you. This is one of the most I like this picture a lot.
It's beautiful. Like, wow. Okay, next question. Your favorite photographer?
Favorite photographer, tough to say, but I really like the photography of Steve McCurry, because as a photojournalist, he has impacted me a lot. So I like that.
Okay. Then your favorite location?
Favorite location, always mountains, I guess. Yes.
There's a lot to shoot there.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, then dream moment.
Is this still to come? There is still to come.
Okay, it's still a dream. Okay, now let's move on to some questions that our viewers are asking. Okay, so the first question is from, okay, it's from Senpai Poison. His question is, does photography means more than clicking pictures?
Of course, yes. Photography is not all about clicking that shutter button on your camera. You need to first realize what's going on in and around you. You need not to only showcase it from your lens. You need to understand what is happening, why is it happening, and how you can distinctively show that thing. So I mean, the photography is that because picture picture means a thousand words. So a thousand words it should mean like that.
Right. Okay, I hope you got your answer. The next question is from Cake My Day 1818 Sujata. Their question is, I am baker. How do I shoot my cakes white background?
That's a very easy thing. You can just go for a light box is a thing that we call a light box is a box and it's a whole white thing. The background and the upper, all the things are white and there are lights are in. So you can just go to any shop of the where you can find these accessories of the camera. Just demand a light box and it's pretty much easy.
Okay, then the next question is from chat section. It's, what does photography mean to you?
Photography is actually therapy for me. It's a therapeutic thing for me that I do whenever I'm out of my mind or something that I don't like or that is happening right now. I mean, the pandemic is there, so many people are not able to do anything or something. But I actually go to my terrace or go to balcony and see what all I can capture. Telling stories is the ultimate thing. Maybe a street vendor is selling something, and if I want to capture that, how will I capture that thing that it is appealing to someone? I'll take a couple of shots and I'll just visualize how can I make that moment very appealing to anyone. So photography is actually therapy.
Okay, the next question is from Sandhya Kiran. Their question is, what is the basic course to attend to learn photography?
There is no basic course straight away. Just practice. Take your phone, take your camera outside, click whatever stuff. It may be great, it may be bad, it may be good for you, but over the time, I mean, like if you go for a course, you will not learn it in a 1 month or a week. It will take you around a year to complete that course. Put that potential of yours, put that time of yours regularly going and shooting outside, and that's what practical learning is the best thing. So go for a device, get a camera and just shoot. There's nothing like you have to attend a degree course or degree something like. There's a plenty of institutes, but I don't find them useful because photography is something, and in fact every art is something that you need to learn it yourself. No one is gonna still you up and make you drink photography. So of course you need to practice, and that's what I would suggest for you.
Okay, the next question is from Arushi Sachan. Their question is there any college for photography which gives degree?
Which gives the
Degree.
Yeah, there are plenty of colleges, institutes running across the country and in fact the world. You can find a lot of colleges that are giving the degree of photography, but everything comes upon your potential and your style of shooting. That will only make you reach the peak of it.
Okay, one more question is from Shreya Sachan. Their question is, what photo editing programs do you use?
I use Photoshop. Photoshop is one of the most go-to things that I use for all of my pictures. And there are some for the commercials part. I use some artificial intelligence like Topaz Labs and Luminar and all those. Depending upon the kind of picture it is, I use those. But yeah, Photoshop is one of the most prominent that I use in all of my photos.
Okay. There's this interesting question from Moonchild Lover. Their question is, has the pandemic affected your work or your style of photography?
Yes, a lot. In fact, a lot. I mean, say it's a 360-degree whole turn that has taken in terms of photography. I mean, I used to shoot festivals, but just for instance, this Ganesh Chaturthi that was there yesterday. And I had planned like from 2 years that I will definitely go, because 2 years back the colleges were at the university selections and all those things were going on. So I thought that this is the year that I will go and shoot, because the previous year was the pandemic and the lockdown was there. And this year I thought that the COVID will not be so much spread, but we have been seeing the cases rising up. So Ganesh Chaturthi was cancelled. But now you have to stick to your passion. You need not to lose the interest, because you have put in a lot of effort to gain that position. So I just went out and shot streets. Streets is always available. I mean, the barn streets or the streets that is completely silent, so you can depict anything how the COVID has affected other people. So of course, it has indeed affected all of the things and the style of film.
Okay, so do we have any more questions? Okay, yes, we do. What is the future of product photography? The question is from Lenson Jules.
The future of product photography, yeah, it's there to stay. And product photography, if you are going into product photography, then you should also know about videography as well, because today Instagram and Reels is another section that has overly occupied everything. And back in the days, Instagram founder has said that Instagram is no more a photo sharing platform. So product photography is there to stay with the brands. Brands will always approach you for good product photographs, because they are the most appealing thing. And also you must know about the videography part as well.
Wow, okay, your answers are to the point and perfect answers. Okay, so any more questions? I don't think we have any more questions. So before we end, I request Mr. Verma to give a message to our budding photographers.
Oh, that's actually one of the most amazing things that I would love to get. So I have seen like many budding photographers out there in my school, in my colleges, or at the streets whenever I go to shoot. So the most to the point, the precise thing that I would like to say that capture what you like. Don't copy anyone. Like if someone sees me capturing a person, a portrait of a person, then another person comes and shoot that same thing. Are you here to photograph or make a photocopy of the picture? So, and secondly, I would like to tell that to never over edit your pictures. I mean, like if you are capturing a landscape, you should, if you want to over edit, then go for a visual artist. You are a visual artist. You are not a photographer anymore. So if you are changing the sky, changing the background, changing all those things, or you are putting a lot of presets over the picture, that means you are not painting a photograph, you are creating a picture, and you are a visual artist. So do not over edit your pictures. Keep it as natural as possible. Just a pinch of saturation or vibrance a little bit, just because we are shooting in RAW. So those colors fade away. So to bring that original colors back to life, so you need to just put that much of effort. Do not over edit your photographs. And a good camera doesn't make you a good photographer. It's the creativity that lies in your hands. So
okay, so there's this super amazing question. It's from Lenson Jules again. Can you please suggest some good macro lens for Nikon?
Actually, I do not shoot with Nikon. So, but yeah, going for a 10 mm lens or 15 mm lens is what I suggest for a macro lens to go for. And that would be actually amazing. But as I can see your username as lens on jewels. So I think you are shooting with jewelry part. So yeah, that's actually 10 mm, 11 mm or 15 mm lens is the thing, because I do not know the specific they offer, but try to go as lower as possible, not less than 10 mm, because it won't be of any use, because you need to adjust the lights and all those things. So 10 mm is the least that I go for, and above that is good.
Okay, so we'll now end our interview.
It was great meeting you, Priyashi. Hope that you are also into photography, and I hope that all those things may impact your style of photography. And,
it will.
Yeah, sure. So just what you like,
Hello everyone, and this is Aadhyatm Verma here. Today I would like to talk about some technicalities of photography and videography. So I would like to tell you that you must know your camera well. Before getting into all that, I must tell you that no matter how much cheap or expensive camera you buy, it's all about the practice and the time you put in. Without practice, these tutorials are nothing. So the most basic thing about the photography is light. Light is all that surrounds you while you are photographing a subject. When we talk about the camera,